Everyone thinks Kabbalah is secretive, mystical, hard to understand, and I thought so too. But two simple words change everything. They are the key to understanding the entire Kabbalistic map of spiritual realms known as Hishtalshelus. There is something that makes it feel inaccessible. But these two words cut through all that and make it so much easier to understand. The two words, giver, receiver. Yep, from plugs and outlets to brains and hearts, keyboards to screens, and pipes to cups. Everything works through this dynamic. While Hishtalshelus remains mystical and abstract, viewing it through metaphors like these makes it easier for us to grasp and understand. Similarly, the cosmic evolution of Hishtalshelus has many parts, which can all be generalized into givers and receivers. And that's like us right here. I received Kabbalah from my mentors over the span of a couple of years, and now I'm giving what I learned to you. Ahead of us, we will explore the 10 Sephiros, first more generally and then more specifically. Then we'll demonstrate how the same pattern exists throughout the entire Hishtalshelus. Feel free to change the playback speed of this video to fit you best. You can ask any questions in the comments below. And if you're new to Kabbalah, throughout this video, I'll try to fill you in with all the information you need to know. Those of you who've seen our intermediary video can actually skip the next 30 seconds, but for those of you who haven't, I'll just say that this whole process known as Hishtalshelus, the cosmic evolution of spiritual realms, is really just an intermediary between the infinite divine God and us finite beings. An intermediary has something in common with both sides, one that receives from the giver and represents it and connects to it in the mediation process, and the other part of it is the one that gives to the receiver and relates to it to filter and bring through the data to that receiver. Okay, let's get into it. Each of the 10 Sephiros has two components within it, a giver and a receiver. That's why the concepts of Or and Kli, which are energy and vessel, are essential to Kabbalistic thought. Or, which means light, is used metaphorically to describe divine emanations and spiritual energy. It represents the intangible, infinite, and boundless flow of divine influence. Now, Kli, which is the medium or vessel, which is the structure that contains the light, it symbolizes the finite and defined aspects of creation, providing form and boundaries to the otherwise infinite light.
Just think of a book. You're reading a book. There's the letters on the page, but they're conveying an idea or a sentiment. So the letters are necessary because if there are no letters, there are no words. Like I'm speaking right now, there are words. That's the container, we would call that, or the body. And the message that I'm conveying, the idea or the feeling, is the energy within it. Teli and Or, container and energy. Think of marketing, packaging. You package a product. The package is the container, and the product within it is we call the energy.
I sometimes think of it like the relationship between battery and electricity. The battery is containing and holding the electricity. But a more befitting example would probably be life in a human body. Life needs a human body to give life to, but the body itself without the life is dead. Basically, we need them both. Now let's take a deeper look at how this works between the specific Sephiros. The top two Sephiros are Chachma and Bina, which are translated wisdom and understanding. Chachma, which means wisdom, is the initial spark of an idea or insight. It's often described as a flash of inspiration or a raw potential of thought. It's that aha moment when something new comes to mind. Bina, which means understanding, is the process of developing and expanding that initial spark into a fully formed concept. It involves analysis, contemplation, and building upon that initial idea to create depth and clarity. Together, Chachma and Bina are complementary forces. One provides the seed of thought, and the other nurtures it into fruition. So, which one do you think is the giver and the receiver? Please let me know what you think in the comments below. Next, in the Sephiros, we have Chesed and Gevura, which are translated kindness and strength, or restraint. Chesed, which means kindness, is the attribute of boundless giving, love, and generosity. It symbolizes expansion, openness, and the unrestrained flow of benevolence. Gevura, which means strength or severity, is the attribute of restraint, discipline, and judgment. It represents boundaries or control, and the ability to limit and contain. Together, Chesed and Gvura create balance. While Chesed provides the kindness and generosity needed for growth, Gvura ensures the structure and order, preventing chaos.
So you have Chesed and Gvura. Chesed is expansiveness. Sometimes we translate Chesed as kindness, which it literally is. It really means expansiveness. Gvura literally is strength, but it really means contraction or restraint, containment, self-containment, which is the counterpart to expansiveness.
But wait, why are Chesed and Gvura, giver and receiver, aren't they just two different personality types? I mean, some people are just kinder and some people are, more strict. In truth, although yes, some of us are more giving while some of us are more restrictive and concealing, but all of us do have within us these character traits, one that wants to give and the other one that channels and restricts and kind of filters that which we want to give. It's just that those of us which are more giving have a more dominant giving attribute, and then those of us who are more restrictive have more dominant restrictive. But all of us have both of these attributes within us. But have you noticed what we haven't spoken about yet? Now, I'm not referring to how our intellect gives to our emotions, because Chachma and Bina, the wisdom and understanding, are the ones that inspire our feelings of giving and restricting. That's definitely true. We are drawn to things we understand are correct and things which we understand are good for us. Now, here's what I'm referring to, and this is what I wanted to point out, that the receiver is actually concealing and restricting the giver. Surprised about that? Well, look, we saw it clearly with Chesed and Gevura, but it's also true with Ur and Kli, the energy in the vessel. You see, the infinite energy gets shaped by the vessel so that it's suitable for the receiver. And it's the same with Chachma and Bina, wisdom and understanding. That flash of insight is only received and understood when it is concealed, broken down, and detailed. Now, we're not going to be going through all the 10 Sephiros in this video, but among the Sephiros, it's the 10th one, the last one, called Malchus, which is the ultimate receiver. It absorbs the energy from all the Sephiros before it, all 9, and transforms it into something receivable. Receivable to who, you might ask? Well, receivable to the next realm in the chain of Histalshelus. You see, the Malchus of Atzilus becomes the Keser, the highest level of Beria, and the highest level of Asiya is the Malchus of Yetzirah, the realm above it. You see, this process of giver and receiver is the key to understanding all of Histalshelus, and it will also give us clarity on the infinite realms beyond Atzilus, like Arin Suf, Kav, and Aktatoyu. But for that, I invite you to continue the course where we'll be covering all this and much more, so don't forget to hit that subscribe button down there, and if you like this video, don't forget to notify the algorithm by hitting that like button down there too. By the way, did you know that it's now possible to join one of our growing community membership clubs, where besides for having access to early access and exclusive content and special courses coming soon, we also have live streams, live chats, and phone calls. These can also give you the opportunity to ask questions personally and get answers directly to you. Anyways, check it out with one of the links in the description below, buymeacoffee.com or Patreon, and hope to see you there.